Hey yo, what's good y'all? It's Stinger, the maestro of milk. I don't know. And today I'm going to be showing each and every one of you how you can make some absolutely fucking dirty hood trap beats for Sniper2004. And the beat that we're going to be going over today sounds a little something like this. Alright, so the first thing we're going to get into before getting into the actual like melody and drums and stuff like that is going to be the VSTs that you'll need, as well as some sound selection for the drums. Now, there's going to be two free effect VSTs that you will need when following this tutorial. And that's going to be some kind of bit crusher. For this, I'm just using D Blue Crusher. And also some type of ring modulator. For this, I'm just using Kilohertz ring modulator. And like I said, both of these plugins are completely free. Now, in terms of VSTs for the melody, you're going to want to use some type of classic 2010 synth VST. And some of my favorite options are Xenology, Purity, Nexus, Expand, Meow Synth. But yeah, any one of those plugins will suffice. For this, I'm using Xenology though. And finally, all the drums that I'm using in this beat are from this Hoodtrap Drum Kit that I just got from Reddit. So I'll link it down below so you guys can download it for yourself. But yeah, now that I've got everything you need covered, let's go into the melody. And my favorite trick to start off these super sinister melodies is to first of all, make sure you're in a minor scale. And second of all, play these super simple chords going from the 5th to the 6th of the scale. And if you don't know what that means, just count the notes in the scale. So we're in F minor, so F is 1, G is 2, G sharp is 3, A sharp is 4, and then we have 5 and 6 with C and C sharp. And then once you get those notes, you're just going to copy them and put them up by 7 semitones. So just hold shift and hit the arrow key up 7 times. And now you have some super sinister chords to start your melody off with. After that, you're going to want to play some kind of synth arpeggio. And with this arpeggio, you want to make use of half-step intervals. Basically, all that means is that there's 2 spots in a minor scale where the notes are right next to each other. And that's the 2 and the 3, as well as the 5 and the 6, as we mentioned earlier. So I'm just playing this super simple arpeggio, making use of both of those. And as well as that, for the effects, I have on a slight bit crush, using that free bit crushing plugin we talked about earlier. And then this is optional, but I threw down this counter melody using a bell. And this is just so that during the verse, I can take away the arpeggio and the melody won't just be those chords. And yet again, with this counter melody, I'm making use of those half-step intervals. Doing this is going to ensure your melody sounds super dark and sinister, so make sure you do that. And those are all the components of the melody. You don't really need to go too crazy. So with that being said, this is what they sound like all together. Alright, so now that we've covered the melody, let's go over the next portion, which is going to be the drums. And essentially for the drums, you're only going to need 3 things. The first of which is going to be a snare playing that classic hood trap pattern. And if you don't know that pattern, you can just copy what you see on the screen. The second thing you're going to need is an 808 playing almost that exact same pattern. And in my last hood trap tutorial, I got a lot of questions about the 808 mixing, and literally it's purely sound selection. I have nothing on the 808. Though you do want to make sure your 808 is clipping above 0 decibels. So with that being said, this is what the 808 pattern sounds like. And now the final thing you'll need in terms of the drums is just going to be a basic clap. And then these are optional, but you could also throw down a couple perks, such as an open hat, as well as this classic hood trap chant. Now, in terms of the drum mixing, this is something that you absolutely need to pay attention to. What we're going to do is we're going to take all of our drum components except the 808 and route them to a drum bus. And we're going to do that by going down to one of these little arrows, right-clicking, and hit route to this track only. And in that drum bus, you're going to throw down a ring modulator with approximately these settings. A ring modulator essentially gives your drums that clipped crunch without having to boost your 808 completely through the ceiling. So without the ring modulator, this is what they sound like. And with the ring modulator, this is what they sound like. They just got a little bit more crunch, a little bit more sizzle, you know what I'm saying? God, that was cringe. So with that being said, this is what the drums sound like all together. And then the final thing you're going to need for these kind of beats is going to be various effects. And those can take place in the form of gunshots, tape scratches, as well as some high-pitched and bit-crushed intro vocals. Fun fact for this, I searched up Sniper Get Down because I wanted to find like movie clips of people saying that. But instead I found a Ludwig stream clip of somebody saying that, and I think it actually worked pretty well. And then for the vocals, I just have them pitched up by 300 cents. And then I have a bit crusher on them as well. So yeah, that is going to completely cover how to make hood trap beats in the style of Sniper 2004. I really hope you learned something new with this tutorial. If you have any questions, please feel free to throw them in the comments down below, and I will do my best to answer them. Also, consider checking out my Patreon, where you get the FLPs to all of my beats in all of my videos, including this one. That way, if you wanted to study the mixing, the mastering, the arrangement, all that kind of stuff, it's right at your fingertips. And finally, consider subscribing, as I post one tutorial every week and anywhere from 1 to 2 sound kits a month. Other than that, it's going to be it.